The Fox Virginia News is next tonight. The School of Medicine at UVA is getting a major bump in funding thanks to the National Institutes of Health. We'll tell you how they plan on using that money.
I was born here and I've been receiving treatment here ever since then.
The 13-year-old born with health challenges, the epitome of success. We'll tell you what UVA Health did to make it happen for this champion.
And later, we'll take a look at the state budget proposal for the next 2 years and see what the House and Senate have to offer. It's time for your Fox Virginia News.
Now, Fox Virginia News at 10.
Well, good Monday evening, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Alexia Williams.
And I'm Ashley Brooks. We're going to come back to those stories in just a minute, but first, here's Travis with your Fast Cast.
And now, your CBS 19 Weather Authority forecast from the Bright Star Care Charlottesville Weather Center.
Well, as I usually say, Monday may not be your favorite day of the week, but when you have sunshine and seasonable temperatures, at least the sunshine makes it a little easier to tolerate. We did manage highs this afternoon in the middle 50s across the area. And we're going to have a lot more 50s and even some 60s coming down the pike in the extended forecast. And I'll talk about that in just a little bit. 41 degrees in Charlottesville at the airport, but downtown we're at 36. Elsewhere, Lake Monticello at 34, 34 in Scottsville, 35 in Madison, and already down to 29 in Culpeper, Harrisonburg, and Hot Springs. Real tough to get any clouds through the sky today. We had a couple move through Charlottesville a couple hours ago, but those are long gone. And we'll stay clear tonight. And in fact, our temperatures overnight, the same as what we had last night. 28 the overnight low, with some spots up to 5 degrees colder. And then for Tuesday, sunshine in the morning, clouds mixing in during the afternoon, and we'll make it to a high of 52. A little cooler as a result of the clouds, but still a seasonable day. Warmer times ahead. You got it. We'll talk temperatures in just a few.
All right, Travis, sounds good. Thank you. Our top story tonight, the House and Senate of Virginia have released their proposed budgets for the Commonwealth for the next 2 years.
Both Democratic chambers rejecting several tax proposals from Republican Governor Glenn Youngkin, but accepting others while giving more of a pay increase to state employees. Our Fox Virginia's Garrett Witten has more. Hi, Garrett.
Ashley and Alexia, that includes teachers, but there are some differences between the budget proposals from the House and the Senate. In Richmond today, advocates asked for more funding for public education following a study last year that shows Virginia is below the national average. Among the changes in education, both chambers increased funding by over $1 billion for K through 12 education, including higher pay raises for teachers between 6% to 6.8%. Now, both versions also include higher pay raises for state workers as well.
But this is only the beginning. It's going to take a lot to get to that over $4 billion of need. So this is just a start.
Governor only offered in his budget a 1% increase in salaries for state employees. We felt that that was not sufficient enough, so we're offering a 6% increase.
Now, overall, the Democrat-controlled bodies mostly rejected Youngkin's tax proposals. Those include a decrease in the individual income tax rate and an increase in the sales tax. They are keeping the proposal to expand the sales tax to cover digital products like streaming services. Now, Republicans say the governor's plan was a global tax reform package and that Democrats only kept what gave them more money to spend. Now, once each chamber has passed this version of the budget, lawmakers from each side will work together on a compromise between the two. In the studio, Garrett Witten, Fox Virginia News.
All right, Garrett, thank you for that report. Well, a 20-year-old Virginia Tech student has been reported missing. According to Virginia Tech News, Johnny Roop was last seen on Canyon Bridge Road in the Merrimack area of Montgomery County back in February 16th to be exact. Later that day, his phone pinged near the New River Valley Mall, and officials say that Roop was traveling to his parents' home in Abington, but he never arrived. He was driving a black Toyota Camry with Virginia tags TXW6643. Roop is around 6'3" with blonde hair and hazel eyes. Anyone with information on his whereabouts is asked to contact the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office. UVA Children's Hospital has named their Children's Miracle Network local champion.
It's a 13-year-old girl from Charlottesville that will be the face of UVA Children's Hospital for the next year. Our Fox Virginia's Gretchen Stinger shares her story.
Children's Miracle Network local champion. It's a title not many will hold, but one Olivia Goodwin had to endure a lot to achieve.
I was born here, and I've been receiving treatment here ever since then.
At just 3 days old, Olivia Goodwin received a pacemaker.
Olivia's story begins before she was born, when in utero it was discovered that she had a heart condition. She had a heart problem. Her heart was beating too low. It was slow.
She had to be strong because at times that was her only option.
Always seeing the glass half full, not half empty. So my family, my sisters, they helped lift me up, especially in like low moments.
Children's Miracle Network provided equipment that changed Olivia's life.
And it could provide her caregivers a three-dimensional image of her heart, which proved invaluable because we discovered her heart was out of sync and it had morphed into this weird blob, not your traditional jelly bean shape.
It was the doctors and nurses who made the biggest difference in her diagnosis.
I've known Olivia her whole life, and for Olivia, she was rather small, and so that pacemaker took up a lot of space in her body.
She is the epitome of success.
She has thrived. One of my partners jokes, and that his daughter swims as Olivia does, and Olivia outswam his daughter a meet. So I said, I guess I have that device programmed quite well.
Every dollar donated locally comes back right here to help kids just like Olivia. In Charlottesville, Gretchen Stinger, Fox Virginia News.
Schools across Albemarle County have been preparing for their annual Winter Songs concert. For 9 years, this event has raised more than $33,000 to support Shelter for Help in Emergency. That shelter helps victims of domestic violence have the support and resources they need to leave. The concert is on Saturday, February 24th at 5 p.m. in the Monticello High School auditorium. There's no admission fee. They only ask for a donation.
Well, the University of Virginia School of Medicine is getting some recognition from the National Institutes of Health with a big increase in funding.
The school is looking to utilize the multi-million-dollar increase toward their 10-year strategic plan. Our Fox Virginia's Sarah Allen has more on where those funds are going.
The National Institutes of Health bumped up UVA's School of Medicine funding from $155.1 million back in 2022 to over $174 million in 2023. This jump moved UVA up to 19th in NIH support among all public schools of medicine.
It's really good recognition because what it means is that as we grow our research program, it simply means that our ability to actually have an impact on discovering the next cure for disease is that much greater.
The funds will be used to expand the school's already extensive research portfolio as a part of the overall health system's strategic 10-year plan. One of the goals for the school over the next decade is to retain more medical students as doctors for UVA Health.
We actually have a very low what we call departure rate or attrition rate among our faculty, so our physicians and our scientists, and we're in a growth phase with that 10-year plan.
Kibbe says there's a long list of things they're looking at when it comes to increasing the retention rate.
It's looking at a lot of different aspects of quality of life, burnout, compensation, work hours, all the things that are important to folks who are looking for their next job.
Funds will also be used towards the new Paul and Diane Manning Institute of Biotechnology. The institute is also expected to bring even more jobs to UVA.
This is going to be a large 350,000 square foot building that will house at least 120 investigators and their entire teams.
Kibbe said the goal is to open the doors of the institute in late 2026. In Charlottesville, Sarah Allen, Fox Virginia News.
Well, some more news out of UVA. UVA and UVA Health are among the top 600 large employers in the country. That's according to Forbes magazine. Forbes recently released its 2024 ranking, showing that UVA is at 73rd and the health system sits at 117th place. Hundreds of thousands of employees at companies with at least 1,000 workers participated in this survey. Other Virginia-based companies on the list include Capital One, CarMax, General Dynamics, and Northrop Grumman. To see the whole list, head over to our website.
For the second year, Patch Brewing Company has created a brew specifically to raise money for the Gordonsville Volunteer Fire Department as a thank you for all that they have done for the community and their help at the brewery. Now, Patch Brewery has created a brew called Company 24 Irish Red. The brew is made up of base and flavored malts like caramel and amber, which gives it a light toffee aftertaste. $1 per pint of the delicious brew sold will go to the volunteer Gordonsville Fire Department so they can expand their resources and help the community even more.
Gordonsville is a small town, and we help each other out. We stick together. We watch out for each other. The fire department is such an important part of Gordonsville, and we would like to be also an important part of this town. And so it's natural that we work together. They help us out at our annual beer festival, and we help raise money for them in other ways.
And last year, this fundraiser was able to raise over $800 for the fire department. And this year, they want to grow that fund even more. The brew is now available at Patch Brewing Company, and it's available until it runs out. So be sure to grab it while it's there. Nikki Haley is making last-ditch efforts to entice voters before South Carolina primary this Saturday.
We'll tell you her latest jabs at her opponent, former President Donald Trump. We'll have that after a check on your forecast with Travis.
Mainly dry 7-day awaits Central Virginia, but we have one opportunity for a little bit of rain. We'll tell you when that happens after this.
And now, your CBS 19 Weather Authority forecast from the Bright Star Care Charlottesville Weather Center.
Today's time lapse comes from Cho on the JES Skyline Network cams. So much sunshine. Waiting for clouds? We're waiting a little longer, and nothing. Hey, for what it's worth, your sunset time today, 5:55. Tomorrow, your sunrise will happen before 7 a.m., and later this week, your sunset will happen after 6 p.m. So the days are gradually getting longer. Depends on how you feel, regardless of how you feel, I should say, about the cold weather or the lack of snow or the mild temperatures. Hopefully longer days make most people happy. I'll leave you to the judge of that. Sky is clear, no rain, no snow, 40 outside of Railroad Studio in Charlottesville. Carter Mountain at 40, 39 at Show, last check 36 degrees in downtown Charlottesville. The air very dry right now. 30s and 40s, usual suspects of 20s in the elevations. Got a 29-degree reading in Cincinnati, 36 in Asheville and Philadelphia right now at 34 degrees. So tomorrow there will be one little disturbance that moves across the area. The showers with it moving across Missouri, those are going to fizzle out. We just get the clouds. They're going to happen to move through during the afternoon. So the first part of your day, you got sunshine. You got a chilly start tomorrow with mid to upper 20s for overnight lows. And then as the clouds move through Tuesday afternoon, more of a sun cloud mix for the area. So your hourly planner, because of the extra clouds, not going to be as warm as today, but still very seasonable. 46 degrees at 12 noon in Charlottesville, 51 degrees at 4 p.m. We'll still break into the lower 50s for most of the area. So here come the clouds. There you go, blanketing the area for the afternoon. Might hang around overnight into very, very early Wednesday morning, but I do think the whole of Wednesday will turn out mostly sunny. Then we're quiet Wednesday night into the first part of Thursday. However, next chance for rain, that comes late Thursday night and Friday morning. Don't get excited though, it's not going to be a lot. We're talking maybe for most places, less than 1/10 of an inch of rain. Some spots might see a little bit more, but those are the outliers, so I don't have a lot of confidence in those numbers. Still, that's it the next 7 days. Weekend following though, that'll be dry. Mid to upper 20s for overnight lows under clear skies tonight, and then for Tuesday, 52 the afternoon high in Charlottesville, 53 in Louisa, 51 for Livingston, 50 in Madison, and 51 in Standardsville. Cardinal Home Center extended forecast. A slight warm up for the midweek with mid to upper 50s for Wednesday and Thursday. You've got showers late Thursday into Friday morning. Sunshine for the bulk of Friday afternoon. Lower 60s to end the work week, but wait, there's more after a brief cool down on Saturday. Lower 60s on Sunday, and then next Monday, sunshine and 66 degrees.
Spring, here we come.
Wow.
Apparently we're on the fast track, and I'll tell you, I know there are a lot of people out there hoping for a big snow.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you, but it's real tough to get snow when you're talking highs in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah. We'll have to see if something happens in March, maybe later.
Not all bets are off, but certainly January, February, the easier times to get snow.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen as often in March.
Yeah. All right, wait and see. Travis, thank you for that forecast.
Across the nation now, with less than a week before the South Carolina primary, Donald Trump and Nikki Haley are ramping up their attacks against each other.
Fox News correspondent Connor Hansen has more from New York.
Former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley faces an uphill battle against former President Donald Trump. A recent poll of South Carolina voters has Trump leading with 64% to Haley's 31%. Haley is hoping voters in her home state will help her turn things around.
I feel that she was an awesome governor and she would make an awesome president.
She's playing on what she sees as Trump's weaknesses, like recent losses in the courtroom.
Then he lost one court case, then he lost another court case. And through all of that, all he did was rant about how he was a victim.
Haley also trying to portray Trump as being soft on Putin, following the death of opposition leader Alexei Navalny and strategic advances into Ukraine by Russian forces.
Trump is siding with a thug. He sided with a dictator who kills his political opponents. He sided with a tyrant who's made no bones about wanting to destroy America.
Trump firing back, calling recent judgments against him politically motivated, and claiming Haley wants to make changes to Social Security.
I will always defend Medicare and Social Security. She wants to extend the minimum age of Social Security by 10 years.
Early voting for the South Carolina primary started last week. State election officials say so far twice as many people have voted early in this primary than the Democratic one earlier this month. In New York, Connor Hansen, Fox News.
You're watching Fox Virginia News at 10. Thanks to you, the #1 rated 10 p.m. newscast in Central Virginia.
Welcome back. I'm Alexia Williams.
And I'm Ashley Brooks. You're watching the Fox Virginia News. Let's go ahead and check in on your forecast with our chief meteorologist, Travis Koshko.
And now, your CBS 19 Weather Authority forecast from the Bright Star Care Charlottesville Weather Center.
Pleasant Monday weather-wise for a lot of the area. Not much, rather, in the way of cloud cover. It was all about sunshine and seasonable temperatures. However, it was chilly this morning. 27 degrees, the low in Charlottesville. A lot of mid to upper 20s across the area, but we rebounded with a high of 55, that being 3 degrees above normal. Should note, too, the low temperature this morning will be in familiar territory tonight and tomorrow morning, as low temperatures will pretty much be the same. Right now, we're at 41 degrees in Charlottesville and Crozet, 30 in Orange, 32 in Culpeper. Certainly a little cooler once you get away from Charlottesville and Crozet, 36 in Piney River. So mid to upper 20s before sunrise on Tuesday. We'll have sunshine for the first part of the day, but clouds will mix in during the afternoon. And because of the extra clouds, we'll manage a high of only 52, but that will still be seasonable. Much warmer conditions are coming later in the extended forecast. We'll talk about those warmer temperatures in just a couple minutes.
Sounds good. Travis, thank you. Well, there is increasing trouble in the House of Representatives. The body is stymied by even debating legislation drafted by its own party leaders.
The inaction and frustration are nearing historic levels. Fox News senior congressional correspondent Chad Bergram has more from Capitol Hill.
Watch out. Republicans burning down their own house.
Things have not been functioning well at all, and that needs to change.
Chaos in an institution which mastered dysfunction.
We can't get anything done.
Exasperation.
My Republican friends are barely hanging on to this majority by their fingernails.
Republicans blocking their own bills from the floor 6 times in the past 8 months. That happened just twice in the previous 23 years.
We only had a 2-vote margin at the end. Don't put people out on a limb on things that aren't that important.
House Republicans also down to a 2-vote majority after losing the New York special election.
How do you handle a more narrow majority in the House now?
Just as we do every day. We just do a lot of member discussion.
Republicans taking aim at novice Speaker Mike Johnson, some regretting the ouster of former Speaker Kevin McCarthy, especially McCarthy allies.
Whatever the cards were for McCarthy are the same cards that are being dealt to Speaker Johnson. All it did was take a crowbar to it and made it worse.
Republicans criticizing Johnson for indecision and late play calls.
They got to start thinking strategically over the long term, not just what's in front of us.
5 committee chairs retiring, including Homeland Security Committee Chairman Mark Green.
Thanks, guys.
He just led the impeachment of Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas.
My point being, you go out to win, right? And I've accomplished what I wanted to do.
A Monmouth poll found that only 17% of people surveyed approve of Congress. But not everyone believes political paralysis is bad.
Well, let me just tell you something about the people I represent. They don't want this body to keep passing more laws and spending more money for the sake of it.
2 government funding deadlines loom in March. Conservatives are fighting fire with fire, not only burning down the House, but perhaps shutting down the government, too. On Capitol Hill, Chad Pergram, Fox News.
Hundreds of Chinese nationals are crossing into the southern border and heading to California.
There are other people from across the globe who are entering into the cold state as well. What's being done to prevent it? We have those details next.
We have new video illustrating the latest front line of the southern border crisis. Hundreds of Chinese nationals can be seen crossing the border from Mexico into Southern California, and they're not the only ones.
Fox News correspondent Bill Malutian has the latest from California.
A stunning sight in Jacumba, California Monday afternoon as a long line of migrants from all around the world scales a steep rocky mountain and crosses illegally into the United States. This remote area, an hour east of San Diego, now a cartel smuggling hotspot for global clients. Where are you guys from?
Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan? Kazakhstan?
Kyrgyzstan.
Kyrgyzstan. Last night, groups of the migrants camped out along Interstate 8 after crossing illegally, setting fires to stay warm. There were no Border Patrol agents in sight. Where are you guys from?
Turkey.
Turkey?
Yes. China.
China. What city in the U.S. do you want to go to?
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles. L.A.? Los Angeles, okay. Over the weekend, hundreds of Chinese nationals crossed illegally into Jacumba, and the number of Chinese arriving is exploding. CBP sources tell Fox in the 4.5 months since October 1st, more than 20,000 Chinese nationals have been encountered at the southern border. That's up more than 4,000% over all of fiscal year 2021, when only 450 Chinese were encountered. Fox's Griff Jenkins also encountered a group of men from Syria yesterday.
Where are you from?
Syria.
Why are you coming to the U.S.?
Because we love America.
Of course, these countries that are enemies to us, that want to see our government fall, of course they're going to be sending people when they know that all we're going to do is release them into the country.
And the politics of the California border are very different than those of the Texas border. Here in California, you're not going to see any razor wire, no shipping containers, no state troopers, no National Guard. California is a sanctuary state, and it's not doing anything to try to stop the illegal crossings here. Reporting in Jacumba, California, Bill Malutian, Fox News.